There's so many women. Tegan Knox, who's just on SmackDown, she doesn't even get the opportunity to be in the Speed Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Rambling About Wrestling podcast. I'm your host, Nick Pearl, and I know we've been talking about AEW a lot lately. I think it's about time that we switch back over to talk about WWE, because there's some news that's been coming out. It's been reported for a little while, then it went a little under the radar, just coming back now. WWE thinking about bringing in women's mid-card championships. Very exciting. NXT's got their North American champion in Kalani Jordan. What would WWE have on the main roster? Do we get one new mid-card title, or do we get two? Monday Night Raw has the Intercontinental Championship, and Friday Night SmackDown has the United States Championship. We're just going to go like this. We'll make it a women's Intercontinental title and a women's United States title. Having a new set of women's mid-card championships are game-changing for a lot of their female stars. Triple H has been bringing a lot of new people in and a lot of people back into the fray. You got people like Michin, Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, Natalya, Lyra Valkyria. All these girls are just kind of there. They have nothing to fight for because these people are not going to necessarily be booked for the World Championship. I'm not saying they shouldn't be. I'm just saying they need to be built up to that point so they can go after and be a viable threat. We've seen Michin versus Nia Jax. They had a great match. What did Michin do to deserve that match? And what has she done after that? She needs to become credible. So having a mid-card championship, especially for people like this, is essential. The argument can be made for a lot of people, but people that have not been given the opportunity on Monday Night Raw. Let's talk about Zelina Vega. She's been given match after match for the Women's Championship, and every single time she's had one, it has been a banger. She is a very underrated talent. She's had matches against both Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, and both have been incredible, with points where you thought she would actually pull up the upset victory. Zelina Vega would have been my pick to win the Speed Championship, but I don't think that's going to be happening. Maybe down the line. But if you're not going to have her in Speed Purgatory, whatever you want to call it, give her a mid-card championship. Of course, you could put it on the new team with Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Stark. But me personally, I don't care for that. They should be going for the tag team championships. WWE could full on say, yes, we could put it on Zelina Vega. But why not Becky Lynch? Well, Becky Lynch isn't under contract with your company anymore. She could be a challenger for the belt. She should not be holding the belt first. And speaking of people that haven't held belts for a very long time, let's talk about Alexa Bliss. She's going to be coming back. It's being teased. Is she going to be with Uncle Howdy? Is she going to be with Nikki Cross? Could they go for the tag titles? Bliss has not held a championship since 2022. The thing is, we shouldn't even count 2022 because she was a 24/7 champion apparently, which I don't even remember. And she was a women's tag team champion with Asuka, which you would think, ooh, that's a pretty good team. No, they held it for 5 days. Don't even count it. She has not been a singles champion since 2018. There are some people out there that don't like what's going on with Uncle Howdy. They don't invest themselves in the storylines. Obviously, I'm invested if you can't tell. He's one of my favorite things going right now. But yes, bringing her in not only helps that group. If you want to give them championship gold, Bo Dallas is not going to win a championship. I'll tell you that right now. Uncle Howdy will not be United States champion. He will not be tag team champion. It just doesn't work. Nikki Cross just got her time to shine. You could put her and Bliss back together. You could have them feud. They can have a feud for the Intercontinental Women's Championship, and then when Nikki Cross beats Bliss, have her come back into the family. I'm going to give you one more person, and this person might shock you a little bit because you may feel she's not ready for a belt, and that is Maxine Dupree. Look at Kalani Jordan and what she's been doing down in NXT. She's a great wrestler. What the hell is her character? I don't know. She comes out with the powder on her hands. She claps a little bit, shows her muscles. Good for you, Kalani. But what is your character? Her having this championship gives her the opportunity to put herself out there more to learn who she's really about. Why not do the same thing with Maxine? She's been getting tons of exposure with the Alpha Academy. We've seen in spurts what she's capable of. She's not going to put on the best matches. She won't. But give her the opportunity to learn more. Out of these women that I talked about so far on Monday Night Raw, let's give it to Zelina Vega. Or you could even throw Natalya in there. Natty's been around the block a few times. Give her her flowers. So moving on from Monday Night Raw, let's go to Friday Night SmackDown. SmackDown's got a ton of women that have never been given the opportunity to showcase their skills. Just because Raw's 3 hours, SmackDown's 2. You don't get a lot of time. You got people like Candice LeRae, I forgot she was on the show. Blair Davenport, Chelsea Green, who's been doing good stuff, but down in NXT, she's really spreading her wings. You got Elektra Lopez. Didn't even know she was still with the company. I don't know what they're doing with her and Legado. Michin, the workhorse of the women's division, who I didn't really care for. She's turned me around a little bit after that street fight she had. You got Naomi, of course. There's so many women. You got my girl Tegan Nox, who's just on SmackDown. She doesn't even get the opportunity to be in the Speed Championships. What are we doing? She's so talented. She's not injured. Tegan Nox was brought back for what reason? Tell me now. She would benefit the most out of anybody for winning a Women's United States Championship. I don't think it's going to happen, though. Tegan, please do something with her. Please and thank you. A good thing SmackDown's been doing, though, is building other feuds with their women's division. So you could throw anybody in there and say, yes, you have the opportunity to win this belt. Obviously, you got my girl Tegan Nox, who I want to win the belt. And I'm sorry if I'm a little, overly excited. She's always been one of my favorites. You got Naomi. They brought her back. What is she doing? She associates herself with Jade and Bianca. There's no women's trios belts. Why would Naomi hang around them? You could give her the Speed Championship, yes. But why? She doesn't need that. She came in to win a belt that means something. The United States Women's Championship could be perfect for her. Your top 3 women are going to be Naomi, Tegan Nox, and Michin. And you could also throw Chelsea Green in there. I'll make it 4. Tegan Nox is always going to be my number 1. Michin, out of anybody on SmackDown, I feel she would be the best option to give this belt to. She's been proving herself, having banger after banger after banger. She is the Sheamus of the women's division. Let's reward her with a Women's United States Championship. Chelsea Green would be great too, but she's got her stuff going on with Julia. Down the line, Chelsea versus Michin, they have something going on right now. You could just turn that into a championship storyline. Both women would be great options to have as your champion. On the Monday Night Raw side, you're going to give the championship to Zelina Vega. And on the Friday Night SmackDown side, you're going to give it to Michin. I'm not saying they're both going to have long runs with the belt. Probably not going to happen. But if you want guaranteed bangers from people that have just kind of been there and were never given the opportunity to be a champion, these are 2 people that you could really put your full faith in. Just throw them out there. Let's see what they can do. And honestly, they'll get built up even more. You want more women's main eventers? You can use these belts to catapult their careers. Maybe in a year's time, Zelina Vega could be a Rumble winner. She could win Money in the Bank. Michin, she could also win Money in the Bank. Maybe Michin wins the Elimination Chamber. And that's exactly what this Intercontinental and United States Championship should be used for. When did they introduce these belts? Most likely, do it at WrestleMania. Night 1, you crown a United States champion. Night 2, you crown an Intercontinental champion. You want to keep them separated. And then at Survivor Series, if you really want to get crazy, let's bring it back in. You do brand versus brand, just for some matches. Honestly, they're probably going to give it to a main eventer. But if you really want to build somebody up from the ground up, give it to somebody that's been undervalued and underappreciated for a very long time. Tegan Nox, please. But I've been your host, Nick Pearl, and I will catch you all on the next one. Let's keep rambling, everybody.